I received this question a few days ago. Is leaving too much of an impact of people a bad thing? And the question initially didn't make sense to me, so I asked them to clarify, and I got a little bit more clarification, and it now makes a lot more sense. The username Rats have lived through 8 different schools. So many close friends, I feel like I have left an impact on people in finding a good friend, but I never reconnect. Am I leaving damage behind me from moving on? Like, I make close friends quick, but I'm worried about leaving some behind that rely on me. Okay, so this I resonate a lot with because in my life, I was also a person who went through many different schools. I went to elementary school in Korea until 3rd grade, and then I left to live in Canada. I lived there for 1 year, and then after that went to the United States, and then I lived there for 6 months, and then I went back to Korea, and then I lived there until 7th grade, and then I went back to California. So, like, it's not 8. The number isn't 8, but I've had my fair share of places I went through. But you know it's like at the time it's very normal to think like this, and part of the reason why I was so homesick all the time is because I didn't really know where my home was, right? It seemed like when I settled somewhere, it's like a new place I call home, and because of that I miss my friends. And so it's similar to your case, but I guess my case is a little bit different because I'm on the yearning side. I miss my friends. But I think you're asking me, what if my friends miss me? But, in the grand sense, it's kind of talking about the same thing. But this seems problematic when we adopt one particular kind of a mindset towards friendships and relationships. And that particular mindset is deep, genuine connection is the best, and then all other types of human connections are kind of like worthless. And that, I think, is one of the biggest misconceptions people have about human relationships. When you look at human relationships as a whole, you will see that the overwhelming majority of human relationships are temporary. It depends on, how much time we think is temporary. Some may be a span of a semester, some may be in the span of 4 years, but most relationships, the overwhelming majority of relationships, they naturally end when the context for building that relationship ends, right? And the thing is, if you don't burn bridges, right? If you're like, well, school's over, so I'm not gonna be your classmate anymore, so fuck you, and I hope you burn in hell. As long as you don't do that, the thing is, you can always rekindle the relationship again, right? But like you said, you don't, reconnect. And that's fine because other people also don't reconnect, right? But it's just that anytime you want to, you can make an effort to do that. And anytime another person reaches out to reconnect with you, if you can welcome them with open arms, that would be great. But what happens most of the times when people try to reconnect with you? They want something from you. And it feels a little bit disappointing, right? Oh man, I thought you were reaching out to me because you really liked me. But again, that is on the underlying premise that genuine relationships are better than transactional relationships. It's not. Again, the overwhelming majority of relationships are transactional. And that's the way it is. It's fine to be like that. And many transactional relationships can have very, very, very great side effects because, it's still a human to human relationship, right? I can have a working relationship with my coworker, but then it can evolve into something different where we can share a hobby together or share some common interests and we do some, civil work together and things like that. So, the nice thing about your situation is you have a lot of network. And at any time you want, you can choose to reconnect. But even if you don't, it's not a big problem. Now to address your other part, I'm worried about leaving some people behind that rely on me. Well, the thing is, if I rely on good waves at the beach for my surfing, is the ocean letting me down when the waves aren't that good? The ocean isn't doing anything, right? The ocean is just being the ocean. It sometimes has good waves, sometimes it has less good waves for surfing. I can think that the ocean is letting me down, but in reality, It's not. It's just my perception of these things. So you're a friend. You may have a friend who thinks that you are leaving them behind. But that's your friend's opinion. But you're not responsible for what other people think, right? So again, your friend relies on you and is disappointed at you. Versus, Billy wants to surf good waves, but the waves aren't good, so I'm disappointed at the beach. The beach isn't doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. And I think that is the perspective that may have been missing from your insights. Well, that's the complete answer, and I hope that helps.